You know what Theory was talking about is the Mason-Madison debate on why they removed the maladministration. But even then, you are reading these things simply as a positivist. Because in that same debate, Alexander Hamilton was asked, what happened if that president pardoned, because he has a power to pardon, if he pardoned some people for a crime that they did on his favor? You know what Alexander Hamilton said? Impeachment will be the solution. And he added to say that misconduct of public men, or in other words, from the abuse or violation, is a violation of public trust, and injury is done to the society itself. So Clinton, yes, it was an issue of perjury, but there is two-tracked. And so don't look at it so strict. So the debate that you are referring to is Mason-Madison debate. But beyond that, there is this culture that we look at public offices as a property right. And therefore, it is like you are losing your personal house that you have built. That is a very wrong concept of what public office is. Public office are held out of trust. And that is why even the act that is about public office talk about both in public and in private, you must conduct yourself in a way that do not demean the office. But we have this culture or impulse to look at this thing as a right. And that is why somebody can assert that taking deputy president from them, even in midst of public mistrust, is simply taking their right away. That can never be how the Constitution was envisioned. But even beyond that, let us stop sloganeering and let us deal with the motion that is there. Because the motion that ought to be there and saying they are bad people, therefore why are they not here? Everyone here have been to court. That is not how law works. Law works with whichever case is here. You cannot go to church and the pastor start talking of Mary Magdalene and you say, no, why can't we talk about Job today in the Bible study? The issue here is about Mary Magdalene and the impeachment of deputy president. So don't be prone to wonder to bring your own laundry list of things you want to fix. Did somebody say this will fix everything in Kenya? No, and that is not the undertaking. It is that the issue of poor governance is so important in this constitution that if you are just used to seeing criminals and they look like crime, the constitution envisions a situation where never again should we disproportionately favor or talk of securing public offices, public good, based on ethnicity, based on regionalism. That has been our cancer. And this is the cure. So I think that the impulse to treat this public office like public property, you are taking something from me, it's really against the Constitution.
Then what do you think is the prescription of the cancerous regionalism you talked about, the ethnic grouping of Kenyans when it comes to the electoral cycle? I mean, what's the prescription? What's the medical, political prescription in your view?
The prescription is there in the Constitution. I remember Harvey prosecuting in the BBI talking of the place of presidency, the citizenship of a president as an elevated one. I still remember that vividly. You are not an ordinary person. We have entrusted something to you that you take care of us because you have a lot of power, because you have a lot of influence, and because you can do so much. So therefore, when you, and the same Constitution, Article 10, talk of one of our values is national unity. The role of the presidency.
Which the office of the presidency should espouse.
Presidency, yes. Yeah. And therefore, when you come and talk of shares, and these are not, I'm not shooting from the hip, these are the charges. When you talk of shares, when you talk of I'm in a line with the long stick and I'm checking whoever did not vote, you are violating any other person's vote and Article 38, the right to political choice, and you are tying that right to political choice of not voting Kenya Kwanza to accessing public good.
Okay.
That is violation.
Okay, Dr. How then do you place